Everybody ready to roll?
Ready to roll?
Ready to go.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the... Fuck, I'm going to do that over again.
We're ready. Are you?
There's our cold start or whatever it's...
Cold open, yeah.
Cold open.
Now loading Roundup Radio.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 5th episode of Bro Off Radio, the podcast that, defeated the Elite Four with a team full of Magikarp. I'll be your host today.
Shit.
Yeah, it's no easy task. I'll be your host today, Tenseiken. I'm joined, as always, by my partners in crime and teammates, my bro operatives. I got Chase, Super 64, Ian, Justice, and Jesse, jGatzB. How you doing, guys?
Doing good. How about you guys?
I am the best.
At what?
I would
That being the
care
worst.
to disagree. Yeah.
No, I'm just the best that I could possibly be right now. Fucking idiots, God.
I mean, I feel like we can all just universally agree that you're not really the best at anything.
Mm.
Why don't you tell me how I really feel?
Yeah, he said it.
Well, we're getting a little bit of a late entry into our podcast here this month. We didn't want to go the full month without doing a podcast, and February is literally just a couple of days away from being over with. So, going ahead and try to get one squeezed in for the end of the month here. Keep all of our listeners entertained and whatnot. Today on the agenda, we've got a few topics to talk about. We're going to talk about the Division. We played the beta over the weekend. Today is actually the 20th anniversary for Pokemon, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And, of course, who didn't see Deadpool? So we're going to have a spoiler-filled review. I mean, how can we do it any other way? Spoiler-filled review of Deadpool. Before we get started into any of that, Jesse, do we have any comments or anything you want to share with the audience?
We do. So last podcast we skipped that over because we had gone for a while without a video. So this month I have a couple of comments to catch up on. First, I want to mention one that really probably only makes sense to me. It's from a YouTuber by the name of Minecraft Destiny, who asks, "When's the World of Warcraft video coming? I was the druid at TB who threw a goblin off a cliff." And to Minecraft Destiny, that video is out now, and you're in it. Well, we got one from Flying Raccoon saying, "Love you guys. We love you too, Flying Raccoon." We got from old random asshole who said that Robo Chicken bit in the Starbound video sent my sides into orbit. And Chase, I think you remember which part he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Zaparrot lets us know, oh God, looks like it's my fix, because he absolutely loves seeing our videos come out every time. We have Shifter who says, "You guys never fail to make me laugh, and I can't wait for the Borderlands 2 debut video." We have Shokan 2 who says, "Great video, can't wait for more stuff." And we also have Vegeta, Mighty Prince of the Saiyan race, who says, "Please more trolling of Tenseiken's wife. Best part. Please keep up the good work, guys. By the way, when is the next stream? Looking forward to it." And he lets us know that this is Fartouche from our stream. So that's the majority of it. Of course, we have more comments than those. A lot of them from our good friends, Zaparrot and others. But we're just so thankful for any input that you give us over time. And it's the best thing you can do to make sure that we grow as a channel and improve over time. So we appreciate all of your input. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. And for those of you that don't know, we do actually stream every single Saturday night, usually around 7 o'clock Central Time. We just got done streaming Guns of Icarus for a few hours. Me, Jesse, and Ian.
It was a fucking grand time.
Yeah,
It was
I
really
had an
good.
awesome time with it, actually. A lot of fun. We suck at it pretty bad. But that being said, we did a lot better than what I expected us to tonight. So we're getting better at it. And,
Yeah, we'll get
yeah, things change over time, so practice makes perfect or some shit. So, real quick, we'll go around the table, see what everybody's been up to. Ian, anything interesting to note about your recent days?
Oh, what? No, I'm sorry. I was playing Fire Emblem. What's up?
That's fine.
No,
that's
I'm
fine.
just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. That's
we're
what
just-
I've been doing, though.
We're talking about how we're going to skip
Having
you and go
fun.
on to the next guy because you have nothing to add.
No, real talk, though. I've been playing Fire Emblem. I've been playing Birthright. Been planning on getting Conquest and Revelations as soon as Revelations is available, but enjoying the shit out of it. I played the Division beta with everyone. We'll talk more about that later, though. And it's really been about it. Me and Rhett's been playing some Minecraft together. That's been fun.
Yeah, did a little bit of Minecraft here and there, working on our new city.
Never messing with Rhett. I don't ever do anything to get on Rhett's nerves during Minecraft.
Especially anything with TNT.
Never.
Nothing with TNT. Fucking cocksucker.
Jesse.
Jesse, what you been up to, bud?
Well, I finally got good and caught up on a couple of things I've been meaning to do. I watched every episode of Rick and Morty, and enjoyed it more than I expected to. I got a little bit caught up on Doctor Who, and I was given Fallout 4 as a gift, so I've been playing Fallout 4 on stream for an occasional random solo op, and that's been pulling views, man. Like it's really weird. We talk constantly about trying to pull views with games and things like that, and just me playing fucking Fallout 4 is getting a lot of people to swing by to let me know that I'm a goddamn imbecile and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But
there was a lot of that.
But I am having a good time with it, and that's the majority of what I've been spending my time with. Just working on Bro Up on the weekends, and playing a little Fallout.
Yeah, and you've been on Fallout pretty, I would say just super often, but every other day it seems like. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's a good game. I know people have complained about it not being that different from the previous generation of Fallouts, and I can see that somewhat, but I'm still pretty impressed.
Excellent. Chase, Super 64, my man. What you been doing, buddy?
Dude, where to even start?
Where to start?
I guess mainly, start with, I've been playing that Digimon game, Cyber Sleuth, for PS4.
You don't say.
And it has absolutely consumed all of my time because it requires a lot of grinding. And then on top of that, I went ahead and picked up Fire Emblem. I've been playing Birthright as well. It's my first Fire Emblem game, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Let's see. I've recently gotten back into playing ranked mode Halo 5. I'm going to start streaming that. I'm going to try to start streaming that at least once a week. So hopefully you guys can start looking forward to that. And I'll be doing that every time that the season resets. I'll just be grinding, trying to get, into the next rank, like gold, silver, platinum, all those things. But yeah, other than that, I've just been buried in RPGs and going to work every day.
Fantastic. I guess that just leaves me. I too have been playing a little bit of Digimon Cyber Sleuth. You know what? That's a fucking lie. I've been playing a lot of Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I've put in over 70 hours of game time into it already, and I have yet to even beat the first story because this is the first RPG I've played where grinding is legitimately just fun. I just enjoy grinding and just digivolving all kinds of Digimon and just seeing what I can come up with. So it's a lot of fun, and that's basically all I've done over the last, almost 4 weeks at this point. Except for what little time I've been able to tear away to play Minecraft, but that's literally all I've poured my time into. So yeah, just Digimon and work and responsibility. That's pretty much been my life over the last few weeks since the last time we.
That's your order of operations: is Digimon, then work, then all my other responsibilities.
Yeah, that's the priority list. That's how I do it. Now there was one weekend where I was able to tear myself away and play a little bit of the Division beta, which we did last weekend, correct, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so, but time is a fucking illusion.
Yeah, who cares?
Also,
Yeah, but yeah, we played a little bit of the Division beta. Jesse, I know you were kind of looking forward to the Division probably more so than any of us. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, if you tuned into the last podcast, you heard me try to elaborate on this and honestly have a difficult time. It's hard to put my feelings into words about the Division because Division was one of those games that really got me pumped for this generation, and because what I understand now to just basically be a glorified tech demo was some of the best looking gameplay and graphics and animations and UI and everything I had seen in a long goddamn time. And then, of course, we were introduced to the fact that Ubisoft, among many other developers, love just fucking bullshitting you. And so like that game has been diminished in visual fidelity since it was originally shown off, similarly to Watch Dogs. And I feel like many people have experienced like a little bit of hype fatigue as a result. Like we were so pumped that now we're almost exhausted from like just being so disappointed. So I went into this not really expecting to enjoy it, and several of us in addition were not really all that invested in this. But when we left, I think we were all pleasantly surprised. Is that a pretty fair statement?
Oh yeah, definitely for me.
Yeah. I gotta say, I don't know how to really put it other than this game is just fun. Like it's very fun to play. And I think a lot of that just has to do with the atmosphere. I really enjoy being in the world of the game. The quests are fun, the missions are fun, the upgrades for the weapons are more fun than I expected, but I just really enjoy the atmosphere of the game. Does anybody want to piggyback off that?
I will real quick.
Yeah, please.
As much as I enjoyed it, like you said, it's been so long since they announced it, hype fatigue, all that. Then the beta rolls along, and I was like, at first I was like, I don't care. And then I was like, well, we'll try and stream it, pull some views, whatever. That's pretty much the only reason I played it. And then I was like, this is fun. This is this is good. Like, I'm having a blast, But what I'm afraid of is, we've only played the beta. They won't even talk about the end game yet. And I'm really worried it's going to end up being like Destiny, where there's like Destiny's fun for a certain group of people. And those people love it. They run the raids. They're into it as hardcore as some people are into WoW. So those people are still having a blast. But for me and for you, Jesse, we didn't have a lot of people to play with. So once we finished the storyline, we were done. There wasn't a lot left, and there wasn't a lot of story either. So I'm worried the Division's gonna have a lackluster storyline, and then basically all that'll be left to do is, if the game even has raids, and then the Dark Zone. And then the Dark Zone will be basically compared to Destiny's PvP for me, because sure, Destiny sucks in general, but I loved playing PvP in Destiny because it felt like playing Halo to me. I really liked it, and I'm really gonna like the Dark Zone because I liked it in the beta, and I'm really looking forward to that. But I hope the game is more than that to me.
Yeah, I agree. How about the rest of you guys? How do you feel about it?
Ian, I'll let you go first, man. What were your thoughts about it? Ian.
Sorry, I had to mute for a second.
You're
I'm sorry.
I know this would be a great opportunity to cut this out, but I don't want to let it go because you sounded so fucking swept up. You're like, oh god, the house is on fire, and
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If we ever get to the point to where our audience thinks we're the least bit professional, we need something to happen to remind them that no, there's just a couple of fuck ups doing a radio podcast or so. That's perfect. So we need shit like that to keep us alive. Anyway, Ian, if we could have your undivided attention.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I kind of feel about the same way. I was really hyped for it, 3 years ago when they first showed the trailer, and I lost a lot of that. I was like, it's been so long that they announced this game that I don't even really care anymore. But then when everyone was talking about the beta, I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and try this out and everything. And I really enjoyed it too. I think I would say probably that opening night that we played it, me and Chase probably put the most time into it. Me and him were up until 4 a.m. playing it.
At least that was our longest stream.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous, but we were enjoying it, and you cannot trust a single person into the Dark Zone ever. Never trust anybody. But I had a lot of fun. I was, like you said, I was extremely pleasantly surprised by it, and probably going to be picking it up.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'll say, and I think I know Jesse can probably agree to this. I was probably the least interested out of everyone here about this game. I had zero, really almost no interest whatsoever in playing this game. And I think it was the day of the stream when, Jesse, you sent me a voice message saying, hey, I think we're going to try to stream the beta for the Division. That was the day before, but either way, it was right last minute, either way you look at it. And I went ahead and jumped on it because I thought, it's a beta. it's a good chance for us to stream something that's still really new, really fresh, maybe give some people a look at this game, and it's a good opportunity, so we'll go ahead and try it. I came away like pleasantly surprised at how much I actually enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun with it. Can't really say nothing about it that hasn't already been said, but I mean, I enjoyed the art. Go ahead.
I can say you're really good at finding glitches in the game.
That I'm good at. Yeah, I'm good at finding just infinite dark holes in the subway.
Y'all weren't there when they saw me get stuck on the stairs.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah.
Hey, nobody had wheelies but me.
That is true. That is true.
And
Chase had some sick what were they? Heelys? Yeah, that's
sick knee Heelys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some weird shit going on. You'll
Yeah,
get to see that later.
It's pretty good stuff. Yeah, we'll release that for you guys later in the form of a video or a PowerPoint or
Or
something.
some shit.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I really enjoyed it. The RPG elements of the game were really fun. Upgrading system, all that sort of good stuff. Shooting was on par, accurate, all that good stuff. I just said good stuff twice. Fuck it, keep going. Fuck it, we'll do it live. The PvP area, had fun with that. So yeah, I mean, I can't really add nothing more to the conversation that hasn't already been said. But I had a lot of fun with it.
One other thing,
I was just gonna say I'll probably pick it up. But yeah, go ahead.
One other thing I will say about it was, obviously going into it, we knew it wasn't going to be as pretty as the original tech demos and everything showed that it was. And it wasn't. With that being said, it was still a very pretty game.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
the weather effects for sure were gorgeous. Like when
Yeah.
you're running through, post-apocalyptic New York and it starts blizzarding and it just looks gorgeous. And then when the blizzard goes away and you see the sunrise, it's just like, holy shit, why does this look as good as it does? So
Yeah.
it is a pretty game.
Yeah.
So don't believe the people who are like it's just ugly. not true.
I'll put it this way. I mean, we played it on PC, and my PC is a little bit behind. Of course, most PCs, if it's a month old, it's behind nowadays. But according to the game, I didn't have the requirements for the minimum, or the specs for the minimum requirements to play this game. But it still let me play it. I played it on the lowest settings, and it still looked really great. It still looked really good. Obviously, there were some, graphical flaws here and there because of the low setting. But, lowest settings, it still looked phenomenal. I was still impressed with it.
And not to mention, it's still fucking beta, too.
Yeah, that too. So, I mean, it's still a work in progress either way you look at it.
Mm.
And also on that topic, real quick, like mine was the same way. When I launched the game, it was like, what do you play on it? It's Etch a Sketch. Like, what's going on? You can't run this. And like I could play it anyway, but like I had a lot of pop in and out graphics, and like some things wouldn't be textured very well. So like when I get it, I'm looking forward to playing it on a console. So that even if it's locked at like a lower frame rate or like lower, graphical settings or anything like that, at least I know everything will look the way it's supposed to for that like hardware, in a weird way.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I mean, I play it on PC over console any day if I had one that could run it right.
Same here.
Yeah.
PC master race, but my PC's I just built it 2 years ago, and it's already in need of a couple of upgrades. So, but PS4, gotta be good for something. That said, I mean, we all came away from The Division really, really liking it, and I think we'll probably all pick it up when it comes out, and there'll probably be more stream material later, so you guys might get to see some more of us playing some of The Division. We had fun with it, had a lot of funny moments with it, so maybe we'll get some of that later.
I was a
on down the
black
road.
guy.
He was definitely a black guy. He was definitely a black guy. That's relevant to the conversation, so we make sure you guys know that.
To add on to that, make sure to keep an eye on our Facebook, because I am still working on a real short little video of our time during the beta, and I'm pretty sure that we are going to put that up on the Facebook first before anything else. So.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
yeah, we've already seen a lot of the footage from that, and it's fun stuff. It's going to be a good video, and that's just from one night. So this is what we're capable of, because we're awesome like that. All right, moving from one topic to the next. Today, like I said earlier, is the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. If you guys aren't aware of Pokemon, it's a little game started out on the Game Boy back in the night. Now, if you don't know what Pokemon is, Wikipedia. You got Google, fucking look it up, and also get out of whatever goddamn rock you're living under, because Pokemon is phenomenal. Anyway, I just thought it'd be cool. One of the topics for tonight is to kind of touch on that a little bit, maybe kind of go around the table, the digital imaginary table of us here, and kind of give our thoughts on Pokemon, maybe the effect it's had on us, how much the series means to us, that type of thing. Chase, I'm going to give you the chance to start us off here.
Okay, yeah. Rhett totally stole my joke. I was gonna also point out the fact that, who knows what Pokemon is, but whatever, go look out the closest fucking window to you. You'll probably see some Pokemon something. So
Shit,
anyway,
man, you gotta tell us this in the pre-show talk. I didn't know you had a joke lined up. My bad.
Well, it just hit me a minute ago.
Sorry.
Yeah, recently we had a Nintendo Direct, and actually the night before the Direct, Pokemon Sun and Moon logos leaked, and it could have been photoshopped, it could have been the actual leak, and turns out it was. Pokemon Sun and Moon versions are unveiled now. I believe they're set for winter 2016, so they come out this year. I don't know. Have they actually shown any legendaries or anything from them?
So they've shown a little bit of shit. They haven't shown legendaries. Literally, all they've shown was correct. There was some. It looked like camera footage of computer screens and shit of some of the concept art and stuff.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm excited for it because I've played Pokemon since I was 7, so it's.
No.
It's part of my childhood.
I'm sorry if I may interject. Going back to the legendaries or whatever, I know there's a couple of Pokemon that people have been kind of looking out for over the last couple of years, kind of expecting to be in the new games, and I guess we can look out for them in these 2 games that's coming out. I can't remember the names of either one of them. I know one of them's Volcanonoid or something like that, and evidently he was actually data mined in a earlier game, but was never used. So.
Yeah, you can actually get him. He's just not available. You can't actually get to him in game, but you can get to him. And
I think one of the future movies is actually going to be based around him too. So he's obviously going to be a big deal at some point. So I guess we can expect to see him in the future games. And then secondly, there's another. I almost said Digimon because I've been playing so much Digimon lately. There's another Pokemon that a lot of people are comparing to Perfect Cell because of his. I'm not shitting you. They're comparing him to Perfect Cell because of his color scheme for one thing. It's black and green, and this was the Pokemon that everybody was expecting to see in Pokemon Z, which a lot of people thought was going to be the next game.
Zydrad or whatever, Zydar or something like that.
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But he got leaked in like a magazine, like a publication or something in Japan or something like that. Fuck, I don't know. But people were expecting to see him in Pokemon Z, and now we don't even know if we're getting Pokemon Z. So, kind of going back to that topic, that's at least 2 Pokemon that I'm kind of halfway expecting to see in the upcoming games. But that's 2 out of probably 100 that they're gonna add to it.
Well, something else I've seen a lot of personally is since it's called Sun and Moon, there are 2 Pokemon that one looks like a sun, one looks like a moon, and that's Solrock and Lunatone.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people think that the story is going to be based around them, and they're going to get mega versions, and that'll be the legendaries.
I hope not. I don't really care for them, to be honest.
Yeah,
but,
I hope not too.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
See. One of my biggest things about the new Pokemon game that people are talking about is doing the trailer where they kind of announce it and everything. It says it goes through every single generation of Pokemon, and it says all come together in 2016, and then it announces Sun and Moon. A lot of people are thinking that this could be the generation where they finally show finally have every region available and shit like that. And I would love that, but that would be a huge game. That would be 48 gym leaders.
See, I'm glad that you brought that up because if I'm not mistaken, has there been a Pokemon game since Gold and Silver where when you finish the campaign, you get to go to another region and do the whole fucking campaign of the other game?
Not to the extent of Gold and Silver. There's some games that do after you beat the main story, you get to go to Battle Plateau or some shit like that. That's
Orange Islands
Orange Islands and shit like that, but not to the same extent now.
Yeah. You see, that's the thing is that I don't know how to describe how that made me feel the first time. Like the very first time I did that, they were like, "Oh man, but you're not done." And then I could go to the fucking same areas from Red and Blue. Like that just blew my goddamn mind. I was just like, I have 2 video games. Like I get to go through all this again. And then I didn't play Pokemon for a while after that. So I went back and I beat a game. I was just like, do I not get to go to another region? And they were like, nah, dude, like you don't. And I was just like, well, I feel fucking cheated now because like that was awesome. And so even if it wasn't all the regions, man, I would be tickled shitless if I just got to go to one. Like just like even if it was just like take me back to one of the ones that we haven't thought about in a while or something like that, right? Like let me go to the fucking place from like Black and White or something at the end of this. I don't know, but I think that'd be really neat.
Like I'd say probably the coolest thing they've done similar to that since then was probably in Black and White 2, I think. After you beat the main game, you unlock like the Pokemon like tournament shit, and as you go through it, you fight different gym leaders from different generations or shit like that. And then there's a champions one where it's all the champions, including Red, and he's one of the people you actually get to fight during that. And I think that was really fucking cool. But it's still not the same as a whole new region, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That's the only ones I haven't played is Black and White 1 and 2.
Yeah, they were good. They weren't as good as some of the others. I'd probably say Diamond and Pearl are probably my least favorite generation. But
by far, they absolutely shit the bed.
Yeah. Diamond and Pearl's where I got back into the game, the Pokemon game, but at the same time, when Heart Gold came out, that was it's weird how that worked out because regular Gold was my favorite Pokemon game up until that point, and like the Game Boy Advance shit, I was like, I don't know, that still didn't fucking hold a candle to like old school Game Boy Color Pokemon Gold. And then Heart Gold, I was just like, this is the best Pokemon games ever been made. Like I was just like, this is fucking awesome. So like, I'm really excited to see what they throw at me in the future, especially when they're like, you know, implying so much with these statements, because especially with the way that the promo went, with showing little kids with Game Boys and then showing people as they grew a little older with like more advanced stuff like the Game Boy Advance and then the DS. It's just like, this is beyond being a kid's thing now. Like this is Pokemon is like a symbol of childhood and growing up, but holding on to the childish things that you adored. And I just can't wait to dive into the next thing. It's so
absolutely
cool.
Like
yeah.
What year did Red and Blue come out in America?
98? 97.
I was thinking it was 98 too.
I think
Maybe it was 98. I don't remember.
Regardless, I was like 5. I was like 5 when Pokemon came out over here, and I've been playing it since it came out.
Yep.
So all of my life, pretty much, since I've been playing video games, I've been playing Pokemon. So Pokemon's been a big part of my life growing up and stuff. And I'm very excited. Another thing, this is kind of random, but I don't know if y'all saw this. People were talking about how we already have the third. You know how a lot of Pokemon games come in 3s. They have the blah 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 blah, and then they have the middle game that's like that ties the two.
Yeah.
We got Sun and Moon, and we already have the third one because Go is Earth.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah!
Oh shit! That's amazing. I'm glad you brought that up because I was kind of looking for a segue to talk about Go. Did Go get talked about in this recent Pokemon Direct at all?
I don't think so. I don't think
haven't
they really
heard
mentioned much
anything
about it.
out of it.
Yeah, and I'm very curious about that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm very excited for Pokemon Go. Because I love the concept behind it. I've always thought it would be cool to have like GPS-based Pokemon catching, and I always thought that'd be really neat. But the thing that I'm curious about is that with Go coming out soonish and Sun and Moon coming out a little later, do you think that there's going to be any sort of like joint integration between the two games? Like, do you think they're going to be entirely separate entities?
I would originally think they're going to be separate, but then again, that's what I thought about the re-releases of Red, Blue, and Yellow that came out yesterday. And no, they announced that they announced that you're going to be able to actually upload your Pokemon from Red, Blue, and Yellow into Pokemon Bank and put it in your current game. So now, once they announced that, I mean, anything is possible at this point. Now, I still kind of lean in towards the separate side of things, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they found some way to at least let you upload it to Pokemon Bank or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that's something I was curious about is, am I going to be able to maybe transfer the shit that I catch in the mobile game to my 3DS game? Yeah. I doubt that I'd be able to do it the other way around, but I think it would be really neat.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that would add a whole nother just dimension to that experience in general. You catch what is probably the closest thing to a real life Pokemon that we're going to get for a while, and just put it into your game so you can use it, in your games in battles against trainers and stuff. I mean, that would be fantastic. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I'll have to see it to believe it, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then Fatouche in the chat, kind of going back, he confirmed that it was Zygarde, which was the cell-like Pokemon I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I looked him up.
Yeah, he's a Pokemon who's already existed. I guess what I saw was another form of him. He's got multiple forms in the game.
Yeah, he's got 3 different forms.
Yeah. And they were expecting to see a new form of him in the Pokemon Z, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see it in the new games.
Technically, he's actually got 5 different forms, but...
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ!
He has 50%. He has complete. He has 10%. He has core, and he has cell.
Yep.
Okay,
he
so
literally
no
has a form
wonder
called Cell.
No wonder.
Yeah.
I hate to be that crotchety old man, but that's one thing about Pokemon that's kind of weird for me is form, right? Like there being so many form things, but I'll get over it. I'm glad to play it.
Well, there's not too many Pokemon that's like that, but there are a few like Arceus, you can change this, which Arceus being the god of all Pokemon, you can change its type with the plates. Deoxys has multiple forms. I guess he's the newest example. Zygarde's newest example of that. So there's a few of them like that, but I typically stay away from them. I'll probably catch them and put them on my box, but they literally rot in my PC for years, so I don't fucking I don't ever use them. I typically try to stay away from any kind of legendaries or, semi-legendary or whatever the word is for it, pseudo-legendary. Yeah.
Pseudo-legendary, yeah.
Yeah. What's everybody talking about? Just Pokemon and growing up with it and stuff. What's some Pokemon that you guys typically keep on your team? Kind of staying with that conversation.
My favorite Pokemon of all time is actually an evolution. My favorite evolution is being Jolteon. I've always loved Jolteon. Always have a Jolteon on my team. Every time I play a game, because most games give you an Eevee, and immediately I try to evolve it to a Jolteon. So Jolteon's always on there. Really like Gallade. Gallade's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
And those are probably 2 of my favorites.
So that's the 2 you're going to have on your team, probably no matter what.
Yeah, probably so. I have a shiny Charizard too that I like to swap around from games to games. So, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Well, Chase, what about you, man? What Pokemon do you typically like to keep on your team at all times?
I do have favorite Pokemon, but I hate making the same team. Every time I play a game, I make sure and train 6 different ones I've never trained before.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, that's always fun to me, because, I just can't stand having that slot take up another Venusaur or something I've trained before. It's just boring to me.
I could kind of understand that.
What is one of those favorite Pokemon? Outside of Venusaur, I knew you loved Venusaur.
Yeah, definitely Venusaur, and then I do really like Jolteon as well.
Who would you say your for sure favorite Pokemon was?
Probably Venusaur.
Okay,
nailed it.
Oh yeah,
Ian, you owe me $20.
You're right.
Jesse, about you, man? What Pokemon do you like to keep on your team? Favorite Pokemon, whatever.
Well, my favorite answer to this is usually practical Pokemon I could choose. I've had some pretty good strategies with Pachirisu because Grass Knot's pretty cool and shit like that, but it's not nearly as OP as I used to think it was. For example, Emolga is I like the same look that Emolga has is something that I like about Pachirisu, but Emolga is a much better type combination. And then goddamn do I love Feraligatr, man. Feraligatrs, yeah, I'm a pretty big Feraligatr fan. I've got a couple different Pokemon that I like a lot. I like Staraptor as a flying type, but I'd say if you made me pick, it would probably be Pachirisu.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of on the Feraligatr thing, real quick. Second generation does actually have my favorite starter, and that was Typhlosion.
Right. Hell yeah.
Well,
Feraligatr is actually probably really high on my list too. It might even top Venusaur. I actually kind of forgot about it for a second because
Feraligatr's the bomb. Yeah.
Well, Feraligatr is somewhat near and dear to my heart, but my favorite all-time Pokemon is Blastoise. It has been since Gen 1 and will be until the end of time. Blastoise and Squirtle for that matter. Just Squirtle evolutions in general, but Blastoise is my favorite out of all of them. So no matter which one I'm playing, no matter what I have going on my team, I don't care if they nerf Blastoise, which Blastoise he doesn't even have a dual type in today's games. Even in his Mega Evolution, he doesn't have a dual type. So unless they, I don't care what they do to him. I mean, they can make him weak as a Magikarp if they want to. I'd still have a Blastoise on my team because it's just he's my Pokemon. He's my Mon. But close second.
My Mon.
Yeah, close second to me. It would actually be Sylveon, the fairy evolution of Eevee. And that's been like a recent year development, like in the last few years. But God, Sylveon's just got me through some rough patches there. So
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard to take this serious. Sylveon got me through some tough times.
Got me through some tough times, man.
I just remember when I was going through my first divorce, and I'll never forget what Sylveon said. Sylveon looked me in the eye and said, "Sylveon."
And I mean, that's all I needed to hear. No, actually, if anything, Sylveon has fucking wrecked for me since I've started using it. I mean, Fairy Type is pretty powerful to begin with, and Sylveon has fucking packs a pretty nice little punch. So yeah, Blastoise is my favorite. Sylveon's my second favorite. Then I have a handful of Pokemon that are kind of like in that top 10 list. But yeah, Blastoise and Sylveon top my list, no doubt. You guys have anything else to want to talk about Pokemon related? Maybe anything like stories or anything like that?
Nah, I'm just pumped for it to come out.
Yeah,
I'm
excited.
Yeah, outside of that, I'm hyped for it. I'm looking forward to seeing what these games are like.
All right, well, on to our last topic of the night. The Deadpool movie came out a few weeks ago. Valentine's Day, actually, to be exact. We all saw it. We all had thoughts about it. Ian, starting with you. What do you think about Deadpool? Story-wise first, let's start with that. What do you think about the story for the Deadpool movie? Oh, and sorry, disclaimer, spoiler. There's going to be lots of spoilers in this discussion.
I didn't watch Deadpool.
All right, cool, guys. Well, this concludes our podcast. Thank you for...
No. I'm just kidding. Yes, big spoiler alert, because we are going to be just talking about it willy-nilly from this point on. But I really enjoyed it. I'm going to immediately go into this with a kind of a disclaimer here. I've kind of gotten to the point where I kind of dislike Deadpool's, not necessarily him as a character. I love Deadpool the character. I've kind of started getting to the point where I'd hated his fan base, and that was getting me to the point where I really didn't care anything about seeing this movie. But I went ahead and watched it anyways, and I really enjoyed it. Though it does bum me out because I know at every convention I go to for this whole coming year, I'm going to see like 50 Deadpools.
God, you're not wrong.
but that's fine. I'll get over it. I'll just punch them. It's okay. But
yeah, sure, get kicked out. That's fine.
The story to Deadpool, it was really good. They changed it. They obviously had to change a few things up because of rights and whatever. Because fuck Fox and Marvel and all that shit. But all in all, the story was still good. I feel like they did the best they could with what they had, and it ended up being really, really good. A few, like I said, they did obviously change a few things, but they weren't that big of changes, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dr. Kilbrew not being in there, because he was kind of the one responsible for Deadpool. That's a pretty big deal, but they still had Ajax in there, so it was still kind of all right. So, all in all, I feel like the story was really good for what they had to deal with.
Yeah, I agree. Jesse, did you have any thoughts about the story for the movie? Like, how did? No, go ahead. Sorry.
I enjoyed it. I think the biggest criticism I was building partway into the movie that I was concerned about is it felt like 30 to 40 minutes into the movie we were still in the same scene and just having flashbacks to and from it. And I was just like, is this whole movie just going to be this scene on the fucking bridge? I was a little concerned about the pacing of it at first, but I got over it because we got past that, and it was pretty cool. I dug it. I thought it was really funny, and in terms of like the things that they dealt with and with the adaptation, I feel like that they did a pretty decent job. That's something I can dig into more when we start talking about the characters. But outside of that, I felt like that it was a pretty strong little narrative, and that it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a good, it was a good origin story. It was told, extremely well. A much better, and this is obvious to anybody who hasn't even seen the movie, a much better telling of Deadpool than that last atrocity that we got in X-Men Origins Wolverine a few years ago. And so there was actually a couple of funny references back to that movie because you know how Deadpool is with breaking the fourth wall and whatnot. Chase, did you have any thoughts about the story or anything for the movie?
Like, I almost feel like you can't spoil the movie because I've read several comments saying this too because it's like you know, you could spoil the Avengers saying what happened with so and so and this and whatever, but then Deadpool's story is basically boy loses girl, boy finds girl, boy wins girl back, and that's fine. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like it's real hard to spoil Deadpool, but it was hilarious, and like for the little I know of Deadpool, I really enjoyed it. It's one of the better comic movies that's come out recently. Really liked it.
I agree with that. But speaking of that point that you made about, you know, boy loses girl, boy gets girl, and all that sort of stuff, that kind of caught me off guard because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the world's just most knowledgeable Deadpool fan or anything. I mean, I'm kind of just a casual Deadpool fan, and I really enjoy what comics of his I've read and whatnot. But not a whole lot I know about him. Just, you know, I don't know everything about him anyway, and his love interest in the movie, for example, I mean, is that a big thing in the comics as far as you guys know? Like, I know about Domino. It seems like there's kind of a relationship there, sort of, but I can't remember the name of his.
The biggest relationship that I've seen, which I don't claim to be any like hardcore Deadpool historian, but the biggest relationship I've seen Deadpool pursue is with Death. Like with Death itself, the personification of Death.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently Deadpool got married to an entirely different character whose name I do not fucking know. But it was not this girlfriend character from the film. And I'll be honest, I was terribly surprised that this movie ends with him getting the girl back.
Same here.
I thought she was going to die, or to be honest, his personality was going to be so changed that he was not Wade anymore, and that it was just not going to work. Because that's sort of how Deadpool is that whenever the transformation went terribly wrong and the cancer spread all over his body, it spreads to his brain too. That's really the source of his psychosis, and he's not the same person anymore. Whereas this movie sort of approaches it like he's just a fucking crazy weird ass, and that much was already present before the powers came along.
Yeah.
So it ended with a little bit of a happier ending than I expected, which is weird, right? Like
No, I'm not there with you.
I was still satisfied with it, but I was just like, okay, I was pleasantly surprised with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there with you. I was caught off guard with how the movie ended. I mean, I thought at least if everything else had worked out up to that point, she would at least like turn him down or something. You know, I mean, I just didn't expect him to like just be okay and get back together and everything because I'm not used to him having any kind of love interest like that in what I've seen of him so far. But you speaking of his personality and whatnot, let's use that to segue into the characters. How'd you guys feel like the characters were portrayed in this movie compared to their comic book counterparts and whatnot?
Yeah, sure. I'll start that because I've already opened my fucking so I might as well. So one thing that I really want to talk about is that like they were really struggling with who they could include in this film. Mm-hmm. I remember reading an article about how they wanted to include certain characters, but because of the fucking labyrinth of goddamn rights right now, there wasn't much they could do. And originally they wanted the character that went with I nearly said Metallica, but that's certainly not Colossus's name.
No, it's not.
But originally they wanted the character to be accompanying Colossus to be Cannonball. Is this starting to make a little bit more sense now?
Mm-hmm.
Because Negasonic Teenage Warhead's powers are not the way they were in the movie, like not remotely. And I I wasn't really worried about that because I'm not invested in that character. I don't think anybody is, because Negasonic Teenage Warhead, I think, gets killed off in the first issue that she's introduced in. She's a telepath and a future seer, essentially.
Yeah.
But basically, from my understanding, the way it worked out is that they wanted Cannonball, couldn't get Cannonball, and they wanted somebody else, couldn't get them, and they were like, well, what about Negasonic Teenage Warhead? And they were like, fucking who? So, of course, they gave them that one because they don't give a shit about that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that worked out. And to be honest, I rarely say this, but I feel like the movie adaptation makes more sense than the comic because, like, for Negasonic Teenage Warhead to be a living warhead, it makes a hell of a lot more sense than just randomly having psychic powers.
Yeah.
That was one thing, but I dug. That was a big character thing I liked. And outside of things that I've mentioned about enjoying, Wade's character, I think that was pretty neat. Somebody else bounce off of that. Give me some input.
I enjoyed the characters in this movie a whole lot. I like what the way they went with Colossus and Megasonic Teenage Warhead. I like the route they went with them, and I liked the villains. I liked Francis the School, and I liked the beefy chick that punched the fuck out of everybody.
Oh, I did
Cool
too. Yeah, muscly and shit. She was pretty neat.
What was her name?
Yeah.
I forgot. You don't
I
remember?
don't fucking care.
Oh, her name. I only remember her name because it's Angel Dust, but she was only referred to as Angel, and I was just like, "There's another X-Men named Angel, though. Like, why would you do that?" But yeah, that character was cool too.
But I think one of y'all mentioned this before. This is like the first movie where like Colossus has as big of a part as he is, and he's metal the entire movie. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Well, he's also CG the entire movie. Like that's a weird thing to me. I felt like he was almost a cartoon character transposed into this movie, like in terms of his appearance, but also his behavior.
Yeah.
But I did really dig him. I personally really dig the what's the word I'm looking for here? The
dynamic.
The dynamic between him and Deadpool, because they're both on two opposite sides of the spectrum almost.
Yeah.
But probably my biggest issue I had with any characters in the movie was probably Wade himself. I loved Deadpool. I thought they did him really, really well. But the only two issues I had were with really the movie in general, where they downplayed his schizophrenia a little bit, and they also downplayed how motherfucking ugly he should be.
Yeah.
Because like after like at the final scene of the movie where he like reveals what he looks like if I was the chick, I'd be like, yeah, you're pretty fucked, but I think we could still make this work. But if it was him from the comics, I'd be like, fuck, you look like a pepperoni pizza. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that being said, that kind of also goes back to something you were talking about earlier about how him ending up being like with the woman and everything at the end of this movie. I think that's going to be a play into the next movie. I think there might be like a time skip before the next movie or something, but I don't think he'll stay with her, probably because the longer he's Deadpool, the more crazy he'll get. So the more he'll start having conversations with himself and shit, and probably the uglier he'll get.
Yeah.
So right. Exactly.
That's just something I've been kind of considering about the movie. But yeah, really, that was my only issue with like the characters in the movie was just him in general. But he was still so well done that it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I agree. Chase, did you have any thoughts with the characters or anything in this movie?
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny for me because like it had been so long since I seen the first trailer for it that I forgot there were even any X-Men in the movie. and then it showed the school, and I was like, oh, cool. Oh, there's Xavier's school. That's neat. Colossus? And like, I went and seen it with Drew, and I was just like, dude, X-Men. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, never mind.
Oh, that's really funny. And I'm glad you brought that up because it felt almost surreal, like seeing the actual Xavier Institute, because we haven't really seen the new Timeline's version of the X-Men yet. Like this was a really weird way to introduce us to that, was to just offhandedly just have these two X-Men. And it makes me wonder what to expect out of the X-Men in the future whenever they catch up in timeline, if they even intend to.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Paul kind of changed the subject just slightly, but one of my favorite fourth wall breaks of the whole movie was when he shows up at the house. He's like, he does a really big house, you know. It's weird, I only see two of you. It's like the studio can only afford to hire two of you on the movie.
Yeah, I thought the jokes were pretty on par in this movie. I mean, they were straight up, definitely on par with like Deadpool's kind of humor. And
to be a Green Lantern joke.
Yeah, well, we saw that in the trailer, but there was a couple of Green Lantern jokes. There was the one we saw in the trailer where he asked for his suit not to be green and animated before he went under the surgery, and then there was a Green Lantern trading card.
I didn't get that until now. Oh, now I get that. I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yep, sure enough. And then there was the in the opening credits, which is done fantastically, by the way. It shows like a trading card or something of this kid, like kind of dressed up like Green Lantern a little bit. So there was a couple of references towards that. Kind of going back to the character development, one of my key concerns going into this movie was, I was okay with Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool, but I wasn't sure he was going to be able to bring the cinematic Deadpool that I really wanted. I didn't know if he'd be a little too over the top or not enough or what it was. I didn't know if he'd be a perfect fit, but I came away thinking he did an excellent job playing Deadpool. So I was real impressed with his portrayal. I thought the jokes were perfect. I mean, the way he told the jokes, the way he broke the fourth wall within a fourth wall and that sort of stuff, he did them perfect. So I came
like 16 walls.
Yeah,
I agree, man. I thought he killed it.
Yeah, I did too, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next one. Hell, I'm probably gonna buy this one on Blu-ray because I've already heard and read that there was a lot of material that was cut out of the theatrical version, especially joke-wise, that they felt was actually just too extreme for the theatrical release. So, really curious to see what all was cut out of the movie. So I'll probably pick up the Blu-ray release of this and then check it out. I mean, I enjoyed it that much. I'd go watch it a couple more times if I had the opportunity to do so. But yeah, it was really well done. The jokes were perfect, and that's about all I have to say about that. Do you guys have any final thoughts about the movie itself or anything?
Oh man, go ahead.
No, I think I've really touched on about everything I was going to say about it. Well, one other thing I think we could talk about real quick. Who's going to play Cable?
I was actually just about to ask you guys that. Who do you guys want to play Cable in the next one? Because for those of you not familiar, who?
I mean, I want to be able to see Cable.
Wait, who?
He said John Cena.
John Cena. Perfect choice.
Damn.
But no, in the secret ending post-credit scene of this movie, it's basically just Deadpool telling you that in the sequel they're going to have Cable, but they don't know who it's going to be yet. He makes a joke about it could be Keira Knightley or anybody, but anyway, they don't have him cast yet. So I think the two people I've seen spread around the internet so far are I can't remember his name, but it's the dude from Avatar, the old guy.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah, him, and then Kevin Nash of wrestling.
And Ron Perlman.
I'm sorry, there's been 3, yeah. So I've seen those 3 passed around. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not dead set on any of them. To be just totally...
I can be honest, I could see any of them pulling it off, but I feel like that there would be a little bit of a weird artificial feel to it. Mm-hmm. And that sounds stupid to say, because we're talking about people that are pretending to be fictional characters, but it just, like, for example, Ryan Reynolds is a perfect fit for Deadpool. Hugh Jackman is a perfect fit for Wolverine to a lot of people. I know some people may disagree, but I don't think that any of these people that have been suggested so far are really that perfect fit. But at the same time, it's a little too early to say, right?
My personal go-to out of the 3 of them is probably Stephen Lang. He is a little old, but I still think he could pull it off, and he can't. And he's not super big at the moment, but we've seen him in the last 6 years be really big. So I feel like he could get to the size, and the age is kind of a bit of an issue, but I don't know. I out of the 3, I think I prefer Stephen Lang. And not to mention, he is also kind of he is kind of a nerd too. Like he's been at like Comic Con and stuff like that before, so I think he'd be a pretty good fit.
Bullshit, yeah.
Well, my thoughts on it is Stephen Lang. I mean, it's first of all, he kind of looks the part, but he's almost too skinny. Like he's bulked. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's like Cable size beefy. You know. But my main concern with him is his age, and you know, Deadpool might become a franchise. I mean, they're already working on or planning a sequel. I mean, depending on how well that does, they'll do a third one, that type of thing. I'm not sure with him at his age, which I think is like 68. I'm not sure he's really the long-term choice you want to make for this character. Which, I mean, this character might be a one and done for all we know. He might just be in the next Deadpool movie and be done with it. But
that is a very valid point, right? Because like now that they've kind of soft rebooted the X-Men universe, there's a lot of potential for X-Men films as a whole.
Yeah.
And Fox may be thinking to themselves, how can we have our Avengers with this? How can we have our big like crossover between like the new X-Men franchise we've established and Deadpool and any characters that Deadpool introduces?
mm-hmm.
So you're right. Like that Cable would need to be an actor that would be down to be in a big fucking X-Men movie too.
Yeah. And on the same subject with Ron Perlman, he's 65, so he's not much younger than Stephen Lang. So I don't know. They're both a little older. I don't really feel like they're good long-term choices for this role. And then Kevin Nash, I can see him pulling it off. If
Ron Perlman's 65, he's actually older than Stephen Lang.
How old is Stephen Lang?
63.
Oh my God, I thought he was 68, so I was way off then. Well, I was off about 5 years, but even so, they're still both in their 60s. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have a little bit more time than I thought they did. But, I mean, God, you give each movie a couple of years to make.
Chris Pratt and be done with it. And just
yeah, Chris Pratt. Let him play two Marvel characters in the same. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't be in the same universe because of the different studios and whatever. But
I'm joking. I wouldn't like that at all.
No, that would be terrible. I think Kevin Nash, I can honestly see him looking the part in terms of like his build and everything. But he's not a good actor. He's just not. My favorite role of his is probably Punisher, where he plays the Russian, and he doesn't say a damn word in that movie. He just beats up Frank Castle and then gets killed, pretty much. I started to watch a movie he was in. It was a really bad Thor movie, and he played Odin, and it was awful. It was really bad. His acting is just not good. So I don't know. I kind of hope they go with somebody completely just new and surprising, you know? So that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, all three of those actors are within a 10-year age span. Because Kevin Nash is 56, so they're all within 10 years of each other. Yeah.
I forget Kevin Nash is
I hope
as old as
they
he
get Idris Elba.
Fuck. I hope they get Keira Knightley. Just do a gender bit Cable.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, guys, you know who it could be? It could be Clive Owen.
Who?
Oh, shit.
Did we mention Clive Owen in the Payday video?
Unfortunately, we didn't because I couldn't find the first mention of it, and it didn't get in there. So that's just going to have to be one of our inside jokes.
Yeah, that's a Payday inside joke for those of you listening. But maybe we'll be able to include it in the next Payday video we do whenever that is. But overall, Deadpool, great movie, great superhero movie. Not for kids. I mean, why the fuck would you think it was? I mean, unless you're just an ignorant, naive, stupid, dumb, just parent. White, milquetoast piece of human garbage. But great movie. I think it's kind of paving the way for some maybe more mature movies in the future. Like they're talking about the new Wolverine being rated R, and Wolverine needs a good rated R film before Hugh Jackman gives it up. I feel like, you know, he's been a pretty family friendly-ish character up to this point, but Wolverine, when he's not with the X-Men, he's pretty hardcore, you know. So I feel like he deserves a rated R solo film before Hugh Jackman hangs it up. And then they're also saying the director's cut of Batman vs Superman is going to be rated R. So that's kind of just opening the door for some more mature themed superhero movies, which is fine because that's the way superheroes are nowadays. They're not the same kid friendly superheroes they used to be. You read some of these comic books and it's pretty raw.
Well, hey,
I think go ahead, Chase. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, speaking of that Wolverine thing, I just seen an article the other day that they are aiming for an R rating for 3.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, yeah.
So, So yeah, that's what we're saying is that it's kind of paving the way towards some more mature superhero films. Jesse, what were you about to say?
I think that's part of the issue with, people trying to bring their fucking kids to Deadpool is that, like, while yes, Deadpool has been featured in some of the child-friendly versions, like, a lot of it boils down to a lot of older people are still have it in their head that superheroes are primarily for kids. But just like any other hobby that starts primarily for kids, it's not primarily for kids anymore because kids, like all humans, age.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like all these people growing up on video games, growing up on comic books, growing up on goddamn action figures, we're still into that now as adults. And so those things are getting more tailored to adult tastes now. So I think that this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I actually saw Dan Slott, which I'm not a huge fan of, tweeted angrily that you should never make a cut of a Superman movie that kids can't watch. And it's just like, well, it's a different cut of the movie. Like, the kids can still watch the cut of the movie that's okay. But again, we are growing up as superhero fans. We have mature interests.
Yeah.
We want to see this done in a realistic and brutal way. And I think that, like you guys said, like the Deadpool movie is sort of showing, hey, people are coming out to buy this shit. Like, It's like we don't have to make it to where kids can watch this.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I mean, it's a different day and age, it's, I mean, even some of the Superman, like, animated movies have a couple of scenes here and there. It's a little bit questionable for younger kids, to see. And, the comic books and everything. I mean, Superman died because he got beat to a pulp in the 90s,
Yeah.
So, it's been for at least 10, 15, maybe even 20 years now, definitely taking a more mature, level on things. And it's just gotten, it's just increased as that time went on. So, and then, a common misconception is that a lot of parents think that if you're a main character of a comic book series, you're automatically a superhero. That's not the case with Deadpool. He is not a superhero. He's a anti-hero, mercenary, whatever, So,
and that's a big theme in the movie, so that works really well.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, it's paving the way for some really good movies to come. I mean, superhero movies in general, the next few years is going to be super packed of some just great movies that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, we're fucking set.
Definitely. Well, before we hang up this topic, anybody got anything to add about the Deadpool movie?
Outside of what we've said, go watch it if you have.
Definitely.
I mean, we've talked about it a lot, and if you stuck around, shit spoiled for you. But even with what we've said, you've not ruined the movie for yourself. Go watch it.
I mean, as far as superhero movies are concerned, I'd probably give it a solid 8 out of 10. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. So,
Give it a solid, perfect 5 out of 7.
Fuck yes. Ian, what would you give it?
I give it like a 2 out of 13.
Fantastic. Chase, what do you think?
I'm thinking like 3.4 out of I don't know, 6.
Okay, all right. We really just fuck up our rating system. We'll get that ironed out later in the past, later in the future. Oh god, it's late. We've been doing this for a while. We've talked about all of our topics. Let's go ahead and hang up this episode, guys. Anybody got anything to add before we hit the outro?
Thanks so much to everybody that comes out and watches.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of really good solid fans that show up to every fucking stream. We love the shit out of you guys.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
We really do.
Definitely. We our hearts. There's a place in all of our hearts for all of you. That was weird. Ian, how can people keep up with you online and whatnot?
People can keep up with me at facebook.com/Fight On for Justice. I also have a Twitter. It is Justice with a 3_gaming. If the 3 is the E, it's really it's like leet speak for those plebes that are in the listening to this. But and those are the main places to follow me at. Would be those 2 places.
Fantastic. Cool. Yeah. Jesse, how can people keep up with you?
I finally have a Twitter. It's if I didn't already mention it last stream, I'm proud to announce it as if it were the first time this stream. So it's at Mr. jGatzB, spelled the way I do it. So you're gonna be MRJGATZB. And then outside of that, I also operate the main bro op Twitter. I have a Twitch channel that I'm not currently streaming to, but if you're interested in that, it's the jGatzB at twitch.tv. whatever. So yeah, come hang out with all of us.
Cool. Chase, my man, Super 64, my guy. How can people keep up with you? Yeah, just
basically
weird.
just the Bro Up Facebook page, which I've plugged plenty of times. It's also right below the stream if you want to click on that. I do also have a Twitter, which I very, very rarely use, and it's at Super64, all spelled out, like the words.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can catch me streaming here on the Twitch channel, because I don't use my own channel anymore.
Excellent. And I guess that just leaves me. The two main places you can keep up with me at is on Facebook.com/Tenseiken cosplay. I'm not spelling out Tenseiken for you guys no more. At this point, you should be able to figure that out. So Facebook.com/Tenseiken cosplay is my Facebook page. I am on Twitter at I am Tenseiken, and my Twitch, I have a Twitch that's probably not going to be used for quite a while because my internet sucks, and we plan on moving in about 5-6 months, so it'll probably be about that time before my Twitch actually gets up and active again. So in the meantime, you can catch me on the Bro Up Twitch, but when I do get my Twitch going, it's twitch.com/IamTenseiken, so it's up. You can go ahead and follow me and stuff if you want to, and just kind of be prepared. Other than that, was there any Bro Up plugs we need to make real fast? Or have they
I do want to make one. We are definitely just working on the Facebook constantly. We're trying to give more people to follow the Facebook. We want more people to be following the Facebook. If you're already following the Facebook, get more people to follow the Facebook. Be that annoying guy that's just pestering the shit out of your other friends. Hey, you need to be following the Bro Up Facebook, and they're going to be like, "You've already said this," and then you beat the shit out of them, and you take their wallet.
Still don't know what Bro Up even is. What is a group?
What is a group? But more than anything, we're very proud of all of our different facets of the operation. So check us out on all of them. That's a big thing I want to mention.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and plug this. When I get home tomorrow, I'm going to stream Halo. So if you're watching right now live, I will be playing ranked Halo tomorrow at some point. I don't know what time yet because I don't know when I'm going back home. So just look out for that sometime tomorrow.
And, well, since you mentioned that, this kind of goes against what I just told you guys. I kind of forgot about it up until this point. If I try to stream older games, it usually streams pretty well on my Twitch. And it being the 20th anniversary Pokemon weekend, I was thinking about trying to stream some Pokemon of some sort tomorrow on Twitch. So I might be doing that. So go ahead and check me out. Which,
we'll hash that out.
Yeah. Which that's for the live audience. But the people that's listening to the recorded version of this is already going to be done and over with. But for the people who's listening to us live, try to keep up with me. I might stream some Pokemon tomorrow. But other than that, my Twitch probably won't be super active until the time I gave you. Just a closing remark I want to make. Just want to apologize if, any of this seemed kind of unorganized a little bit or maybe kind of hastily put together. Like I said, the stars hadn't really aligned for us to get together and really do a podcast episode this month. So we kind of just did this in the time we had and just use some topics. And we're also kind of experimenting with a new audio program, Discord. So if there was any audio errors, it's something we're working out. But thank you guys for listening to us.
What we're getting at is set your standards very low.
Exactly. Don't expect anything great from us because we use the bare minimum of what we can to get our shit out. So, but other than that, thank you for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to us as much as we enjoyed talking to you. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Take it easy, everyone.
I'm licking my beard.
Ian, did you say?
What?
Ian, did you say love
Is that
you?
what you want to go out on? Licking my beard?